Well, hello guys, welcome to Club 3, Episode 1 of this Journeyman save, where we're trying to win all the top leagues in Scandinavian football. Currently, as we get to Club 3, we have won none of them. We've spent the first two clubs in Sweden with Gotner, and then Örebro in the top league. We did incredibly well with Örebro, but we just couldn't get over the line with them, so I decided, for the sake of the save, to make the switch. And we are here in Norway in the beautiful club of Viking, the best named club surely in world football. Not entirely sure why they're called Viking. I haven't found that out, so anyone who is from there, what is the reason other than that is the kind of the part of the world the Vikings came from? I don't know. I don't know if there is a specific reason for that. But when you think of Vikings, you think of, you know, people with pointy helmets and or pointy horns on their helmet and big beards. But this is Viking Football Club, and they play in the city of Stavanger or Stavanger. Please, anyone help me with the pronunciation. So they are one of the most successful clubs in Norwegian football. They've won the top league 8 times, at least at the start of the game. Most recently, I guess, in 1995. So they haven't done much for a while. They've won Norwegian Cup, and that most recently was in 2001. We'll have a look in the game in a second. We're going to today just have a little look at the club in the game, but also the club as a club, so we can learn a bit about them. They've had some great European success, including beating Chelsea, I think was somewhere in here, in 2002. I don't actually remember that. I think I should do. So they were founded in 1899, a little while ago, and they used to play in all white. It's quite a cool story here that, yeah, they were played in all white. The problem was they had a red and yellow badge, and when they tried to wash the shirt, the badge would bleed into the white and it would end up messing up their kit. So they had to remove the badge to then wash the kit. So they changed their colours, I think it's to all blue, so dark blue. And they're now nicknamed the Dark Blues, really quite excitingly. Their flag or crest is this kind of cool little thing, which should be on the intro screen as we start up. And yeah, I will link this website in because this is really useful. Some lovely pictures here of players past and, well, all past, I think. And yeah, if you're Norwegian, you can read your way through this, but there is an English translation, which is helpful. On the Wikipedia page, much the same information, but I thought we'd have a little bit of a look at the town that that Viking are in, which is Stavanger. Little look at where that is in the context of Norway. It's right on the sort of the tip of Norway in the southern on the southern coast. It's the fourth most popular. It's the fourth largest city and the fourth most populated city. And I believe I was reading that it was built on oil or something like that. I might have made that up. Probably have made that up. It's got the oldest cathedral in Norway. That's quite something. You can see that there. Iron Age farm, where they farm Iron Ages. No, it's oil. I have not imagined it. So it's the onshore centre for the oil industry in Norway. So that's why it has grown so massively. Climate-wise, it's very similar to the UK, which is interesting. And there's a couple of other things I wanted to point out. Yeah, and Viking are the only football club there. There are some local rivalries. I think that's on the other page. I think Start is one of them, and there's a couple of other local ones. Let me know in the comments if you're from this part of the world, what are the local rivals that we should be looking at. There is an ice hockey team, the Stavanger Oilers, so that's good. I think they've got the head coach wrong. I believe that's supposed to be Sean Death, but you know, we'll give him that. Yeah, so that's the town. in next episode, we'll have a little look on Google Maps at the stadium. Right then, let's have a look at the club within game. Right then, so this is what Viking look like in the league. We're starting out with a friendly against Brage, so we'll be sort of used to that. As you can see, we've actually got the correct team logo in the game. That must be acceptable in the context of Football Manager. I haven't put any packs in here at all. I think actually it is the case for Scandinavia. And yeah, they're playing Trelleborgs as well, so a fair couple of, and we'll have to add a few more in than that. We need a few friendlies. So let's have a little look at the club. We're going to have a little look first of all at the club information. Some of this will be entirely you'll know about. So you can see we're a top division club and have been for a long period of time, sort of sitting in sort of centre part of the division, which I think is kind of where we are at the moment with Örebro, sort of in that sort of region. And so the plan here will be to push us on a little bit further this time. Finances are okay, we'll have a look at those in a second. Our key player is this lad. We'll have a look at players in a second, but it's always good to have an idea of how good your key player is. So he is a striker, which is always nice, a pressing forward. We'll have a look at these guys in detail. He can finish, which is nice. He's not a bad player, certainly not a bad player at all, and we will certainly be using him to within an inch of his life. But let's have a little look at the club itself. So facilities wise, as I say, we are in the city of Stavanger. Capacity of the ground is 16,000, so a fair amount of seats to fill, 15,800 seats. Recently built that stadium, which is nice. So it's owned by the club, which is important. Stadium condition, which is good. We've got undersoil heating, all is good. So pitch condition, perfect. We've got good corporate facilities, average training facilities, poor data analysis facilities. So we could look at maybe improving that. Average youth facilities, and we've got a stadium sponsor of 450k or 440k per year. So that's pretty nice. The youth team play a different stadium, Vestenbanen, which is a smaller stadium. Not entirely sure. It seems like only Viking. Maybe we own that as well. I don't know. And we've got adequate academy coaching and adequate recruitment, so we might want to look at improving that as well. So not bad in terms of that. We're not amazing, but it's certainly not terrible. I think the club looks pretty good. Affiliates, we have an affiliate in Slovenia, St Patrick's Athletic. It's a bit of a random one. So we can send players on loan there, and these are just sort of random ones. I don't know why Stahl is Vidar. So basically they're just players places we can send players on loan to. I don't know what Stahl's doing, but that's fine. General 3-star club, which is pretty good. Local rivals Bran and Byrne. Father Dick Byrne. The best divest derby. Brilliant. Versus Bran. I won't remember that, but it is the best name I've seen in a long while. Other rivals, as I mentioned, was Start and a few other, Valerenga. So some of the bigger clubs in the area. Okay, let's have a little look at the. We'll have a look at the dynamics first of all. You can see they're pretty good at the minute, and managerial support is fairly poor. But that's only because I've just arrived, so we're going to try and do something with that. Staff-wise, yeah, we need to improve there. We've got not enough. We certainly need to do more recruitment staff. We can't deal with just one scout. One scout and one chief scout. That's not good enough. We need data analysis. We need to improve this. This is terrible, absolutely terrible. Ooh. Work to do there, as there is work to do with the medical staff, as there is work to do with the coaching staff. So we will hopefully, next time you see us, we will have fill that out, that would be excellent if we do that. So we'll have a look at the squad. Here we go. This is what the squad looks like with abilities and potential and that sort of stuff. So looking through it briefly, got a couple of goalkeepers, one very good goalkeeper. You can see we've got some very good players in here, or that are reported to be very good players. Pereira, a left back, which is nice. A left midfielder who looks who's highly rated. A right winger who is highly rated, and the striker that we saw earlier who's highly rated, as well as a goalkeeper and a centre back. So that's a good spread across the team. As you can probably see, we don't have a vast amount of quality in depth, but it's not terrible. Looking at the team on this screen, though, this gives a better idea of where things are missing. So let's just have a little look at some of those better players. Viking, who will be our starting goalkeeper, 31-year-old Norwegian. He is, not worth a huge amount of money. I don't know what the wages are going to be like at this club, but you look at him and, there's a few stats in there which are a bit dodgy. Kicking for one, so we'll get him passing out short, I think, rather than doing anything fancy. I don't know, does short passing, if he can't pass, can he do short passing? Or maybe get him to throw it out. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's the safe one. And anticipation isn't great. That might cause a little bit of an issue. What's the backup look like? Just out of interest. Emberland. He's 22-year-old. He's massive. He's absolutely massive. And that's all you can say about him. He's not terrible. He's a backup, isn't he? That's fine. That's fine. So you look at that, you think, well, we've got this decent left back in Pereira, who does look a very good left back. I'm all over that. He can cross and he's fast, and you know how I like someone who's fast. Looks like backup wise, we haven't got a lot there. On the other side, it's a little bit weaker, but we look like we've got a little bit more strength in depth. So it looks like there's two players who are fighting for this. Oh, he is fast. Yep, he can do nothing. Technically, he's terrible, but he's really fast. So that's basically what I want, isn't it? It's my player in a nutshell. Of course, I got to think we could bring in the likes of Hurge from Orebro, who would fit that role beautifully. He can play there and he's a decent player. The other player here is not as fast, but he's a little better technically. We'll try both of those out, see how it works. Exactly what formation I'm going to play, I don't know. Central midfield looks a bit of a problem. We've got this lad Strand, who looks an okay player. We've certainly got a lot better players at Gotney. We need to strengthen that out. If that's the best we've got, we need to do more of that. Yeah, it's okay, but it's nothing particularly spectacular. You look at that guy and ooh, wow, yeesh, another giant of a man, but wow, you can't head the ball. And then on the right side, we've only got one real out and out quality player, and he does look quite good. Certainly got a lot of the attributes in the right places for this role. A lot of 13s, 14s, 15s. First touch of 10, that could be improved. But all in all, that's not too bad. We don't need to improve there. Doesn't look like we've got much as an attacking midfield, so we probably won't be playing that. As you can see, both on the left side, we've got this lad who also looks very good. So we'll probably be playing, I'm not quite sure whether we'll be playing them as an attacking players or slightly more defensive and just more of a flat midfield four. And up top, we've already seen this lad. Looks like we've got a lot of players who can play up there. He looks really good. He's going to be the main man. Let's have a look at how he's done in the past. He doesn't get a lot of goals though, does he? I guess that's the problem with a pressing forward. So we might have to think about how we get goals out of this lad. It's probably the players who are alongside him. This guy's pretty fast. Can't finish though to save his life. Composure's a little bit low. He's not a terrible player, but he looks more of a backup than anything else. We'll have a little look down the pecking order. Finishing of 6, that's pretty terrible. But again, he's 21. He's Norwegian. Again, maybe he's got a little bit of potential, this lad. I don't see him. I mean, he's got a fair potential that they suggest, but he is 21 already. Well, I think we'd have to work hard to reach that. There's certainly things in there which I don't like the look of, and certainly finishing is fairly important for a striker. But we'll give him a go. He is transfer listed. Again, it's much of a muchness, isn't it? This looks again the same sort of player. A lot of things that are missing in there. A lot of things that aren't terrible. And finally, Alan Hansen. Wow. Why is he not transfer listed? He's got okay. How can this lad have a potential of 4.5 stars? What is he? He's a false 9. But he can't dribble, he can't finish, and he's got no first touch. And he's got no balance. And he can't do teamwork. He's got no vision. And he's got no composure. I think that's a little bit God knows who's coming up with that. Anyway, there's work to do. I think we need players in the centre. I think we need a right back. I think we need a little bit more up top as well. So that's good. And maybe someone who can make a few challenges in there. So that's quite a big list of players that we need. Let's have a look at how much money we've got to be able to do that. So we have got a transfer budget of £1.5 million, which is, I mean, that's more than I normally get. So that's not bad. I don't normally spend anywhere near that sort of money. What are the projections for this? No, we look like we're going to lose money. Great. So we need to do something about that. Wage budget wise, we're way below the wage budget. So we've got players to work with. We can have a little look at Örebro. Maybe there's someone we can bring in to help improve this. Maybe some of our ex-players we can think about looking to improve this side. I think that's not a bad idea. Finally, let's have a little look at the development centre where it all goes on. So, we don't look like we've got a lot going on here. So we got no one out on loan. We need to think about if we do need to do that. In the second team, okay, so we've got a couple of guys who have quite significant potential. A few actually who've got quite significant potential. We've got a young winger here, 18-year-old winger, looks fast. He doesn't look terrible. I mean, some of these things, the crossing, the dribbling, I would like to see a little bit higher at this stage. The anticipation would be nice. Concentration of 4, that's a bit of a bugger as well. But, he's worth a try, isn't he? He's definitely worth a try. We might be loaning some of these guys out. Magne Reed, central midfielder with a potential 3 to 4 star potential. Now, I quite like the look of. He's a deep line playmaker, so he needs to be able to pass. He needs good technique, good first touch. He's got all of those things. He needs to have composure. He needs to be able to make decisions. He can do those things as well. I don't think he's terrible. I think he could be useful, and he is very ginger. He's ginger, but with a black goatee. So, he's a man with style. Let's have a look at a couple more of these guys. Left back, eye back. Nice. Is he a left back? He can't cross. He's a full back. I don't like a full back. He can tackle though, so maybe is he more of a centre back? He's not tall enough really to be a centre back very effectively. He's not particularly good in the air either, so he's neither one thing nor another. That's not ideal. And last one, Snore Melling. That is a great name. Physically, he is outstanding. Mentally, he is not bad as well. He apparently can play as a Mazawa. Technically, he is awful, and he's 23. So I don't think he's going to reach that potential. It was getting really exciting until, you know, as I went right with the information that's left, isn't it? Left with the information, it became clear that it's not going to work. So we've got some there that we will look to develop. If we look at the youth candidates, we've got a lot of wingers in the system. 3 top prospects in the centre of midfield. Okay, so we've got a central midfielder coming through. I don't know what time that's... I mean, we don't have any defensive midfielders. Fine. We'll have a little look at the under-19s. I know I'm doing it all wrong here. We'll have a look at the top prospect, Erling Nielsen. Good name. Yeah, that's about right. Doesn't look brilliant. Medical centre, we've got no injuries by the look of it. Current injuries, no injuries at all, but we're in the start of the year. So I'm going to have a look, see what I can do with these players. It looks like we've got quite a young squad. We might be able to get some money, although if it's anything like Örebro, it's very hard to get the players in. We'll look to bring some players in. Probably look to freshen it up. We'll just check if there is a rule about the number of foreign players that you can play. Players on youth or amateur contracts can only play 3 matches. Fine. 7 subs, 3 U's. That's straightforward. No trialists. Fine. That's normal. Bottom 2 go down. Nothing particularly... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Loan rules. 6 foreign-based players over 22 allowed on loan at a time. 6 allowed out on loan at a time. So you can only loan out 6 players. Well, that's fine. We're not Chelsea. We haven't got that many players to loan out. Maximum squad of 25. Maximum of 5 players on youth or amateur contract. Should be a minimum, shouldn't it? You know, so we need to have 2. Okay, so we can only have 5 players in the squad on a youth contract. So yeah, 4 3 outfield players on a... Okay, so one of those can be a goalkeeper. So we need to have 16 players in the same nation in that squad of 25. So essentially, our foreign player thing is we can have 9 foreign players. That's what we've got. Right, I think that's it. I think we're done. Next episode, we are... Oh, we've just seen that. Oh, we got offers coming in all sorts. Oh no, it's my youth development. I've got to deal with him. Stop him. We are going to come back and we're going to have a look at the first game of the season, which will be against Sandford, Gloucestershire, I presume. And hopefully we will have some transfers. We'll go through the tactic that I've decided to go with, which I haven't come anywhere near deciding at the minute. And hopefully we can start with a bang against... if we started against Start, we can start with a bang, but we can't. We're starting the second game. Just shoot me now. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for dropping by. If you enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you next time for our second episode and our first game of football with a new club, Viking. Bye-bye.